Well, let's get started. Got a lot to talk about today. On the Well.
All right, welcome to season 2 of The Well, the place where we can talk about everything from prayer to politics. I am your host, Danetta, filling in for Marvin. And today I am here with Trinity, Kendra,
hey girl,
the homie Big Donnie, you know.
Hey, welcome.
And Christiana. How are you guys doing today?
I'm good.
Well, because that
This
is
is first
the
time.
homie, and this is his first time. And
Introduction.
Yeah, you know, and then since it's your first time, Donnie, tell us about yourself.
Well, I'm representing the wonderful city of East Oakland.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Out in LA.
Yeah,
I am the
yeah.
youth pastor at West Angeles Church. We work with middle and high school students. We love them. We get to send them home, and so that's just a blessing from God. So
Wow.
just happy to be here.
Well, that's awesome. So today we are going to be talking about what happened, the situation that happened in Charlottesville. But before we get into that, I wanted to ask you guys, have any of you been to a protest, and what was your experience like at that protest? You guys?
Experienced
I
it.
semi went to one. I wasn't intended to go to a protest. I meant to go to just kind of a Black Lives Matter meeting, and it ended up being a protest. We started marching, and at the end, but in all honesty, I would expect for it to be kind of scary in certain aspects because it was getting dark. But just to see the people coming together for one cause, I think that was moving, just to experience it, not to watch it on TV, not to see it on a 15-second Instagram video, but just to kind of be in the moment and say, hey, we're tired of this.
Right.
That felt kind of good to just be in that atmosphere.
Okay, that's lit. Christiana?
I have actually never gone to any type of like march or protest. I think the closest that I've gotten to like civic engagement with, exercising my right as an American and as a Black woman, I definitely think has been, I went to City Hall once, and it was with a group of students at Loyola Marymount, my school, and it was a program called the Learning Community, and we went and basically sat in on basically like a hearing for something like pertaining to a city and different things that had happened with like I think a resident, and we were able to like discuss our opinions about the matter in the case, but other than that I've always wanted to, but I've never found like time or something that was close enough to me to go.
Get you a black bandana. That's step one.
Let's not get it right.
What about you, Don?
Oh, well, I've gone to plenty of protests, especially recently with, Trayvon Martin, Mike Brown, all of the killings of our, young Black men. I've been to a few. They, like Kendra, they've been peaceful. A little scary because, the police are more radical than the actual protesters, They're the ones who are usually on edge, ready to hit somebody. But as far as, as far as like everyone protesting, we're all cool. It's all different shades, everybody just coming together for, just one cause. But, so with that, it seems like we all have had cool experiences. But in Charlottesville, it wasn't like that. There was recently a rally. Things got heated, and as the rally was coming to an end, a man drove his car through the entire crowd, just flew right in.
Yeah, it's tragic.
Right, flew right in and pretty much injured 19 people. He killed a young woman. She was 32 years old. Her name was Heather Heyer. And after that, Trump, 45, when he does his speech on the matter, he pretty much blames both sides. So what are your thoughts on what has taken place in Charlottesville?
Whenever you have situations like Charlottesville happen, people are always looking for a leader to give them some type of guidance on clarity on how to deal with like the matter. And I think the president's ambiguity on the matter is just as dangerous as the neo-Nazis' radicalism and crazy behavior. I think it's a disgusting situation for him to be so wishy-washy in something like this. I wonder why it's so hard to denounce neo-Nazis and white supremacy. It's not that hard. Denounce evil, call a spade, and own up to what is wrong in the world. I don't see why do you have such gray feelings.
Right.
It's almost like he's
I was going to say,
He supported it. That's like,
exactly.
and
Or you kind of have to think about who were his supporters too. You got to back the people that voted for you. So in playing both sides, it's kind of like, okay, I'm not pro either one, but I can't necessarily bash either one either because of my position and
Exactly.
into authority. So,
But I think it's it's just a weird thing for him to do that. Like, okay, they backed you, but you are the president of the United States.
Yeah, exactly.
And even when you go back to the cause of this whole protest, we're talking about statues of Confederate soldiers. We were at war with Confederate soldiers. It was a civil war, and really, when you think about it, they were against everything that the United States stands for today. So, I think I posted it on one of my social media pages. If General Lee would have won the Civil War, would we be allowed to fly the Stars and Stripes today? Right? Would we be able to have our monument of Abraham Lincoln erected in D.C.? Or would they just be like, that's never going to happen? Why is it now that we defeated them, they surrendered to us, right? Why do we still have their monuments? You can't go to any other country and a country or wherever where they went to war with someone and they defeated them. They're not about to fly their flag or their king or whatever. Like, we're gonna totally annihilate you and erase the memory that what happened never happened. You have that whole saying like the South will rise. Some people say the South will rise again. And so when you allow that mentality, it's like, when you talking about theology, right? The Lord God would not allow you to have an image of a pagan god. He says to completely annihilate it, to stomp it out, right? Because otherwise you're going to always refer back to that thing.
I'm not surprised that it's still up because you're still seeing the first African American woman to do X, Y, and Z, the first African American in general to be elected to whatever position or to be a judge or to be whatever. So it's not even, I'm not surprised, and that's where my worry sits, is that I'm used to it. I'm so used to seeing it that it's almost common, which is sad.
Right. Distraction has been one of the greatest downfalls, I feel like, of American just politics, period. I was thinking about when Sarah Huckabee Sanders, who's the White House, probably she'll be out soon too, White House correspondent for President Donald Trump, she gave a press conference earlier this week. If it wasn't Thursday, it might have been Wednesday. And when she got up to talk, she was like, we're going to discuss the issues at hand. But first, I wanted to announce that it was my niece's birthday today and my dad's birthday today. And, I love birthdays. Right. And so she's talking, and the journalists in the room are like, okay, happy birthday. But these are the issues at hand.
Right.
So exactly, like Pastor Donnie was saying, if we fail to recognize these distractions head on, they will become the very blind side that we fall subordinate to, and we'll let the real issues pass us by. But if we stay woke, if we stay consistent, I had a professor in school that I took a couple semesters ago that said death is the cousin of sleep. Basically, you need to stay woke. You need to make sure that you're always attentive to the things that are going on, because if you don't, you'll die. Wow.
In addition to staying woke, how important is it with 45 being spewing so much hate? How important is it for minorities to stick together right now?
And Jesus wouldn't have wanted that either. He had an alliance with everyone who was the minority of society, anyone who was deemed unworthy, anyone who was deemed unvaluable, or someone who was the outsider. So for us living and taking on that modern day Christ-like appearance, right, we should strive daily to make amends, to be alliances with those who have been kicked out by society, with that Muslim brother, that homosexual sister, so that we can be the very best of Christ in the flesh.
That line of hate, it stems across all mediums, whether it's race, gender, church affiliation, denomination, whatever. That line is there. But in terms of what we're talking about, with these constant reminders that we're still struggling for change, do you guys feel like that the church is silent about these issues, or is it some churches? Or
Thank you, Kendra, for
bringing that up.
Make a 3-minute statement and then forget about it.
I think some churches have been silent. Even in the civil rights era, they just did not want to get involved with that, right? But I think it's important to do that. I mean, as the church being a lot of times the pillar and the center of the community, a lot of people are looking to the church to say, what's the direction that we take? Even
Like
if the
a
church
leader,
says, listen, right, let's
She
go
said
down.
like a leader earlier.
Yeah, like a leader. Even if the church says, listen, let's go down to City Hall and let's demand, like, be on the front lines, take the congregation, because you think about it, West Angeles, it's such a hub church. People come from everywhere. And so they have, they're registered in so many different areas where you can go out, and if the church leader says, we're going to do this and do that, go to your congressman, go to your U.S. representative, go to your senator, go to your council president, whatever. Like, that sparks so much.
But also another thing that is really important, I think, let's speak on white privilege and a lot and people who are not of color using their platform to speak out against injustice America everywhere. I think that that's so important. Every Paula White, every Joel Osteen, every Mike Huckabee, all those white televangelists that be selling miracle water but have a black following. That have a black following need to use their platform. I will say it again. Need to use their platform to speak out against black and brown brothers who are dying every day at the hands of racial injustice. I don't care how rich you are. I don't care how uncomfortable you are. I don't care how white you are. You need to talk about it and use your platform, because at the end of the day, the money that you have on your debit card comes from that black person living in Louisiana in the projects who is sowing toward your miracle water, making you rich. So it is obligated, that part. It is an obligation that you speak out against that. You have a moral obligation to talk about it wherever you go. I believe that's what God would have wanted them to do. It's to use that platform, to use your whiteness, to use the position that you have and speak on it.
Because people looking and watching.
Silence is dangerous.
And when you do speak on it, don't wait until you get to West Angeles, to talk about, oh yeah, I'm with you guys, I'm with the movement. No, do that at your church, because that's where it matters. We don't need you to come tell us how to feel. We know how we feel.
Yes.
So Dr. Martin Luther King once said, like, darkness cannot drive out darkness, only light can do that. And also that hate cannot drive out hate, only love can do that.
Facts.
Wouldn't you agree?
I absolutely agree. It's the whole, if you think about it from a biblical aspect as well, or just common sense. If we cut off all the lights in this room and my cell phone lights up, you can see again. So just that small amount of light is necessary, even in a large dark place.
Yes.
Okay, well, this was an awesome discussion. Thank you all for watching The Well. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Also, subscribe to us on YouTube and hit the thumbs up. Thank you.